I think we're live.
Hey.
Here we are, Paul and Jeff, and we are working. So we're coming at you live from the car.
Undisclosed location.
Yes, you try to find us.
This is Studio C. Studio
Yep.
A is Jeff's office, and Studio C is Paul's car.
Yeah, Studio C for car, or
That's
R
right.
for remote. We could be anywhere.
Anywhere.
in the country. See if you
Yes.
can figure it out.
First person to find us gets a
Yes,
free share of Legion M.
Yeah. Do we have any of those like tracking beacons on
Yeah,
us
exactly.
at all? Well, here we are, and this is, normally we do this from the rooftop grill, but we're out and about. We've had many meetings today.
Yeah, we're in between a bunch of meetings, and
Yeah. So it didn't make sense to go all the way back out there, so we thought, well, we'll just do it from the car. But, first and foremost, we finished the round, and it was the best round ever.
Yes, it was our shortest round ever,
Yep.
but we brought on more new investors than we
Yep.
ever have before.
Welcome to all the new investors.
Yes.
I mean, it's incredible to see the community growing the way it is. I mean, it's really like accelerating, which is exactly what
Yeah.
we had hoped for.
It's exciting and very rewarding. One of the things that we'll be able to share probably pretty soon is a growth chart of how large the Legion is.
Yep.
And the great thing is that it looks fantastic because
Yeah.
if you look from 2016 to 2017, we doubled.
Yep.
And 2017 to 2018 is only a little bit more than halfway done, and we haven't doubled yet, but
Yep.
we are definitely on pace to double again in 2018.
And I'm no expert in math, but when you're doubling a bigger number, you're growing.
That's pretty
even
good. That's called
faster.
exponential
Exponential
growth.
So
And that's
that's what we're all
exactly
about.
what we're looking for.
But and this may sound like a little cheesy, but it's really sincere. Like that's just awesome, and we're like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm like humbled by it. Like the idea that this community is coming and backing us the way it is. I mean, when we're out in meetings and we talk about it, we really say, this is one of the things that has exceeded our expectations, and so. We can't tell you enough how much we appreciate it, because this is our business model, right?
Yeah.
Is the idea of uniting a community of shareholders so that we can collectively go do great things in Hollywood. And it's just coming together, and we're just we're so grateful. And to have this round, I mean, it was the most efficient round too, and really fast. And a lot of growth, and it's like we use this analogy that Legion M is like a snowball, where we were just this tiny little snowball when we first started it, and then as we grow, we become bigger, and the bigger we get, the more like we grow, and at some point, as we like to say, we become unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
anyway, thank you.
People are starting to notice too. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
The tone and temperature of our meetings, there's some really interesting things that are happening right now. There's nothing that we can really
the
share.
mic's down here. I hope everyone can hear us.
Yeah. If we can't hear, somebody please let us know. Put
we'll
a comment.
mime the rest of the.
No, but I mean, for Legion M, we've kind of had this really nice growth, and we've got more and more people that have heard of us and have heard good things about us. And when we go to them and we show the data, for those of you that didn't see it, a couple weeks ago we did that deep strategy dive where we walked you guys through a lot of the slides that we use when we're pitching. If you haven't seen it,
we should repost that. We should post that in the comments.
Yeah.
And I think we've got it. That's going out in the investor update too, I think, isn't it? Or
I'm not sure. I think there's a blog post about it.
Yeah,
anyway, it should. It's findable. It's out on the internet.
Yeah.
You can go and watch it. But we're pitching that same thing, and people are hearing it, and so it's.
Well, it's nice too, because I think in the early days, the earliest of days, we were finding. We'd ask people, have you ever heard of Legion M? And, almost unilaterally it was, no, tell me what it is. And now we're coming in with almost a receptive audience. A lot of people have heard about us, and, they still want to learn and understand what it is that we're doing. But, that we're starting from a place of they've heard about us and they wanted to meet with us. And which just makes the whole presentation and interaction that much different. We're also hearing from people that, I talked to so-and-so and they were raving about Legion M and what Legion M's like and the impact they're having. And So anyway, we could go on and on. It's it's pretty exciting, and we're just grateful. We're grateful because when people react positively to Legion M, I mean, it's not because of Jeff and I. It's because of our community, right? It's like
it's definitely not because of him.
No, I mean they're like, well, do I have to meet with you guys? Can I meet with them? But
can't we just meet with Terry Lubroff and skip you two bozos?
Terry and David and everyone else. All right, so let's get on. We got a full agenda today.
Yeah, so there is a note here. This is from Terry Pignon, and as you know, Terry manages a lot of our Facebook group interactions
and manages us.
Yeah, and she wanted to have us welcome the shit tons of new members, but don't say shit tons.
Oh shoot, you said it. You weren't supposed to use that.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Well, there it is. It's out on the internet. Jeff said shit tons,
and now Paul has said it.
Did I say it?
And we attributed the whole thing to Terry.
And I think my car just got hit by a truck behind us. But we'll worry about that.
But seriously, this is one of the great times. I mean, there's so many people that are joining the new group and wanting to say hello. And is there a group near them? And so we want to give a special thank you. Normally, we try and are there to welcome everybody.
Yeah.
And it's been really difficult because
in this we have a half an hour and we're going to name every single one. Just kidding.
It's going to be a long, yes.
So you start.
At some point, we should do that.
Yeah.
We should just sit down. Nobody would ever watch it, but we should read literally
thank
every single
person
investor in the Legion. I would totally be down for that. But
all right.
Anyway,
welcome to all the new investors, and then San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, and actually, before we close on round 3, just one thing to let everybody know. We posted about this, and I know that there's been some questions, and just so everybody's clear, the round was oversubscribed, which means that we had more people that wanted to invest than we had room available in the round. However,
oh my God,
we are... Sorry, Paul's freaking out.
It's all good.
There are more trucks vying for this space
exactly.
than there is physical space available in the 3D universe.
We're parked in the middle of the highway.
Yeah. So
that would be interesting.
Anyway, we're working. We've actually filed with the SEC. We've got a solution in place that at this point we expect is going to be able to accommodate everybody that got in before the deadline. And so if you got in before the deadline, just be on the lookout. We're going to send further information. It's going to take a few weeks to get through all the machinations, at least a few weeks. If you have any questions, feel free to send always an email to team@legionm.com or post it in the group. But
our motto is no fan left behind.
That's right.
If you got in, even though it's oversubscribed, we're going to figure out how to accommodate everyone. We have a pretty good plan that I think. I think because we're better equipped this time around.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And we can handle all of the shit tons of investors.
Yep, that's our new Legion shit tons.
All right.
So, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
Wow. That was, we started the company just 2 years ago, or a little over 2 years ago. That was our third Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And by far our best Comic-Con
yes.
presence. I mean, we've had some
every
good ones.
year.
Stanley
it kind of levels up a little bit,
and it was amazing. And we want to thank our sponsors, TCL and Buddha.
I've got Popcorn Buddha. Yep.
And also Jenny Stiven from who helped kind of bring in Stargate and Buffy, those parties. One of the things, and I also want to definitely call out our team, in particular Claire.
Mm-hmm.
Claire, who really kind of took ownership of our San Diego, Claire Bateman-King, you probably met her or seen her at some of our events. She took ownership of this, and actually it was Darren Passarello, mm-hmm. Who we know is a friend of David Baxter's, helped join that partnership with Skybound so that we could be a part of their lounge. And the best part about it is we ended up having that lounge and being able to have that presence and invite people in. And at the end of the day, because of all the activations that we were able to bring to it, it was basically a break even for us. We weren't doing it to make money, but by bringing in other partners and other parties and things like that, we help offset the costs, and then we end up, basically getting the whole activation you know, for our sweat equity into it.
Yeah.
Which is worthwhile.
That's the way that we like to set this
Yeah,
stuff
we don't
up.
want to spend our money on that stuff. I mean, we'll you know, invest it up front, but then we try to bring in partners to share it.
Yeah, and we had some absolutely amazing partners. Sorry, I was laughing. I saw a comment here. Robert Whitehill was asking whether it's metric shit tons or imperial shit tons.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Is
We're going to have to get back.
Shit ton of
I think
Legion
Terry...
M heavier than a shit ton of feathers?
I don't know. I think this is definitely going on record as our worst live stream ever. No,
or the best, one or the other. It's hard to distinguish.
I actually have a list
there's
here
the guy with our boxes
of people that I do want to explicitly thank. And so I think we can just kind of read down it. But Susie Bassey McCauley. Oh, see?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to.
Smart. Science, baby.
I can put them on.
Stephanie Lauren. Jeff Ayers and David Cash, which was our fabulous film
team.
crew.
Yep.
Matan Goldstein, Michelle Carter, Leisha Davis,
Amazing.
Rachel White,
Yep.
Perry Covington, and Eric Fege, who are the writers of Evermore and did a huge amount. Like, we did a whole signing, and they brought
awesome.
so much cool. They brought like Evermore posters and coins, and they had the daughter of Dr. Evermore who was there.
She was really cool.
And those guys also, like, in addition to like showing up, like, they weren't like celebrities and they showed up and signed. Like, they literally
they hung out. They moved boxes.
They moved boxes, like everything. Like, it was absolutely incredible. Shao Lopez, who was always ready to help, no matter what.
Shao Lopez.
That's right. Justin Sewell drove all the stuff. You know, like, we had a lot of stuff. We had a lot of really cool stuff. I hope that somewhere online there's like a video tour of the lounge, because we had a lot of really cool artifacts from Legion M as well as from Mandy, especially when we did the Mandy takeover.
Yeah, thank you to the Spectrovision team, Josh Waller, for helping set us up with all the props. We had the Beast there.
Yes.
And we can't go without mentioning Joe Stotman.
Yes.
Who created
who created the stand
framework,
for it.
The stand for the Beast. Thank you, Joe.
Yep. Eric Lamb,
Eric,
as always, long-suffering Eric Lamb, who not only gets credit for himself, but also for bringing his fiancée and his cousins.
Desiree was super helpful
to help with everything. Claire, we just need to mention her again. She killed it. She set the whole thing up. Obviously, Terry
Pignon.
Yep.
Always. Yep.
Harbor House, Skybound, Popcorn Buddha, again, the greatest popcorn in the world. TCL, the television manufacturer.
Yep.
I mean, it was just absolutely incredible. So I think that's the end of the list. If I forgot anybody, the cast of the Outpost, Jake Stormone
cool
and Jessica Green, who came and spent all day in the lounge.
Yep.
Michael Rooker, who came by and took photos with everybody. It was just like...
What about Banner Joe? Should we thank Banner Joe? Banner Joe, if you happen to be there...
I guarantee Banner Joe is not watching on
Banner
Facebook
Joe might not be
now.
watching this, but if he is watching Banner Joe, thank you. So Banner Joe is the banner, the flying banner company. Super nice guy. And if you were at San Diego Comic-Con, or maybe you heard, on 2 days there was a Legion M banner flying around the con, which was something that and it actually wasn't really that expensive at all. So, and Banner Joe cut us a nice deal, but it was one of those things when we first went to San Diego Comic-Con. I remember, I forget who it was. It might have been John Biscardi or someone had posted something early on in our Facebook.
That's right.
I think
showed
that was like a
the
Legion
first,
M logo flying
Comic-Con.
behind an airplane at Comic-Con. And it was like a joke. It was like, someday maybe this will be us. And this was it. We made it happen.
We made your dreams come true.
Yep.
I mean, that's really what we do.
Yeah, exactly. We're here to make Banner Joe's dreams come true.
Yes. Anand also from Outpost was there.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that one flash by.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm sure there's probably
there's-
a dozen, and we just can't thank everybody enough.
Yeah.
The lounge went off flawless. It was a great place to hang out. We had so much fun. We had the Stargate activation there. We had the Buffy the Vampire
finale
Slayer.
of their thing.
Oh my gosh. It was the whole time. It was just like nonstop.
Well, and we
stuff
had,
happening.
and the thing is, like, it was obviously a lot of fun, and, people came and had a good time, but for us, we had a lot of meetings there. Like, because this is the entertainment industry kind of, aggregates or congregates at San Diego Comic-Con, and so, we had a lot of good meetings, and it's really nice when we're introducing Legion M to someone, maybe a producer or director or something like that, and they come to our lounge and they see all these people having fun and introducing themselves and everything, and then we go meet with them. It just adds to our credibility.
It absolutely
they see
does.
it in
we're bringing them into our environment, our turf, and they see
Sundance
firsthand.
was the same way.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sundance, are we ready to segue?
Oh yeah,
because
sure.
they're
Leonard Maltin.
Oh, Leonard
Jess Maltin.
Yes, Leonard and Jesse Maltin.
Weta.
Yep.
All of our amazing Comic-Con friends.
See, the list really does.
It doesn't end.
Yep.
Okay, Sundance.
Well, Mandy. So there's a new song out there in the ecosystem called "Forging the Beast."
The Beast, yes.
And I got to tell you, if you haven't heard it yet, strap on some really good noise-canceling headphones, crank up the volume, and check out this song, because this is one of the songs from the soundtrack, the Johan Johansson soundtrack from Mandy, and it was released today exclusively. Ultimately, the soundtrack comes out when the film releases, and remember, Legion M is an investor in the soundtrack, so
you are an investor.
Yeah, we are all invested in this soundtrack. And
John Biscardi just posted the link to that. And by the way, John Biscardi created the Nick Cage bloody face tattoos that we use. So thank you, John, for that. Anyway, sorry.
All right. Well, so anyway, I just wanted to mention that's out there, and also, I think Terry had a note in there about we're in Mandy promotion mode right now. Like, I mean, Mandy's coming out. We want to start promoting it. We're going to put some assets out. We've already put some stuff out. But get ready to start blowing it out. I think she had a note in there about
all the Facebook pages. So she's been working with the admins of the little individual Facebook pages.
Yep.
If you want to, change your profile picture to Mandy or your cover photo or anything like that,
or
like
if you want to actually tattoo the Mandy logo.
That's true.
On your back.
Yes.
We'll pay for it.
Send an email to legionm.com and we'll figure out a way to make that happen.
We'll raise money to
That's like a real thing. Yeah. We'll be the world's first crowd-owned
tattoo parlor.
Yeah.
All right. No, but we're excited. I mean, I'm excited for the soundtrack and the film. And next week, I'm hoping it's going to be next week, we'll have some more details on the theaters and the plan for release. It'll be a day and date release, but there's also some cool stuff happening with the Q&A and stuff like that. But we'll release all those details next week.
Yeah, and we're trying to also work out and see if there's anything that we can do on the merch front. And there's a lot of stuff that we're trying to make happen there, and it's gonna be a big day. I mean, we're it's about 6 weeks away, and we're kind of that's our next big. Our next big thing, but we also have, for those of you that are not into Mandy and the whole Midnight Movie and all that sort of stuff, we've got some other really cool projects. We've been talking for a long time about how we want to find some cool projects to kind of counterbalance that. Yeah, maybe some stuff that's family friendly and anyway, we've got some really cool projects. Again, nothing that's at the state that we can announce yet, but just know that we're working really hard on it to make that happen.
Yeah, there's some stuff we really want to do, and also on the horizon, again, we'll be kind of crystallizing this, what our plans are going to be for New York Comic-Con. What our plans are going to be for LA Comic-Con. What our plans are going to be for Sundance. These are all things that we're working on right now. And finalizing Pitch Elevator, which is also something that's in the works right now. And we've got some new traction with icons. And I mean, there's so much going on. I mean, it's hard to convey it all, but we're in a good stride right now. I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good way to say it.
What else is on the list, or should we go?
So, we've got a brand new advisor.
Oh, yes,
we can announce. Yes. That is very exciting for us, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Dean Devlin is now officially a member of the Legion M Advisory Board. And
thank you, Dean. If you're watching this, which you probably aren't, you're probably busy on set somewhere.
Dean is awesome. So if you don't know Dean, and especially if you just joined and you didn't go through Bad Samaritan with us, Dean is the co-creator of Stargate. the co-creator of Independence Day. With Will Smith.
Yep.
He created Leverage, The Librarians.
Yeah.
He was
and now the Outpost.
Yeah, the Outpost, which is the new show on the CW. Wow, look at all those hearts. People love you,
Woo!
Dean.
Dean.
The Legion loves
Yes.
Dean. Anyway, he is our sort of people, and he understands fans, and he immediately got what Legion M was about. He went on record during the Bad Samaritan time saying that he thought it was the future of Hollywood.
Legion M is the future of Hollywood.
And he has officially joined our advisory board, which means
he even tweeted it out. About his excitement.
About how excited he was to join.
Yeah.
And just
well,
keep
and
in
I
mind,
think that's like a really cool thing, right?
It is.
Because like Dean, like 2 years ago, like just getting a meeting with Dean would be exciting for us, right? And now, having worked with Dean, like in working on Bad Samaritan, you know, Dean got to experience firsthand the power of the Legion, right? And I think it's a real endorsement that, like, I mean, he's also excited to become one of our advisors, right? And so now we're not like, you know, tugging at him to become. We want him to be an advisor, but he also wants to be an advisor because he believes in what we're doing, which is, you know, I think it's just amazing.
And this is a guy that has generated billions with a B dollars of box office around the world, and
it's phenomenal.
So anyway,
we have such a good advisory board. I mean, Leonard Maltin and all these guys. We're so
really
lucky.
fantastic,
and it
really
better.
pays off because, like, for example, now when we're talking to new filmmakers, I mean, one of the things is again, what we're doing is brand new. Like, Hollywood has never seen this before. Nobody's ever done it before. So when you go into a meeting with somebody that you've never met and they've never heard of you, convincing them like that we are real and that what we're doing is real is difficult. And being able to say, oh, by the way, why don't you call Dean Devlin and ask him about the work that he did with us. And he's not just like vouching for us and saying, "Oh, Jeff and Paul are nice guys," or saying, "No, I worked with those guys.
I worked with them. I know,
and I saw firsthand the impact." So it's huge.
This is one of the things I think. The industry is so full of people, sharks, and exaggerators and spinners and everything. And so, the fact that like we now have such endorsements from credible people. All right, we are back. Well, apparently that live update was so hot, my phone overheated and literally stopped working. Just all of a sudden, no warning.
Yeah.
Just said, "Oh, I'm
just
done."
Just a little temperature
icon.
That was
too hot. So
yes, you are too hot. I think that's what it said. I think it said
you guys are so hot.
Exactly.
I can't possibly stand it. So anyway, now we have it positioned where the air conditioning will hopefully be cooling the phone.
And it's such a flattering angle too, right up the nose,
flattering
to look from below.
Here, it might be fine to go back up there. Is that better?
Anyway,
this will go down in history as maybe not our best.
Definitely not our
best Facebook.
Our most professional. For all of you new investors, just so you know,
get used to it. This is what it's like.
We
don't
have
expect
a
anything better than this.
That we're putting your money to work where we can get a good return on it.
We clearly don't have we don't have a film crew here.
And it's not with this. But
anyway, what were we talking about? Dean Devlin.
We were talking about Dean. We were talking about how usul it is, or how wonderful it is to have him be able to vouch for us.
Oh yeah, no, it's huge, and it really does. I think it contributes to when we're meeting with people that there's just such a increase in receptivity.
Yes.
These days.
If you think about it, Hollywood and the film industry is this big, and right now this little corner of it knows about us. And the thing is, everybody who sees it loves it, and it's such a powerful story, and it makes sense, and the traction that we've got is so good, and as that circle gets bigger, I mean that's where the snowball effect comes into play. So anyway.
All right. So should we go to questions?
If there's anybody that that has watching? A question, go ahead and post them. I can kind of see them flashing up here.
Yep.
Maybe Terry Pignon, if you see any and want to text them to me, that's another one in case I missed it. But Bad Samaritan, just so everybody knows, one other thing to note, the DVD release, according to my notes here from our producer, is August 14th. And the UK premiere is August 24th, and Claire Bateman King is in the UK, and I know that if you want to go see it opening night with Claire, she knows a little bit something about throwing opening night parties.
Yeah, she does.
So Anyway, so that's coming.
Yeah. So if you didn't get out to the theater, or even if you did, this is another opportunity to see it again, and maybe even help spread the word. Let other people share it with other people. That it's a super high quality film, very very entertaining.
Yes. So, okay, we got a couple minutes left for questions for anybody who's got here or wants to. I see one. David Baxter wants to know what sort of swag or merch people want for Mandy. So, if anybody has any suggestions or ideas, I think he's asking the crowd or asking us to ask the crowd. But,
I bet they want that aluminum engraved thing.
Could be. Yeah. Do you want your own meat, mac and cheese? I see.
Yeah.
Matan wants to know if we're going to hook up Meetup Maker for Mandy, and yes, we absolutely will. There's actually, if you go to legionm.com/Mandy, and you can navigate there from the homepage, you'll see there's a place where you can sign up to get on the list if you're interested in going to a meetup. So, like Paul said earlier, it's going to be out on demand the same day or shortly after it comes out. But we're trying to do some really cool stuff at theaters, and so if you're interested,
really best experience. This film is best experienced in a film or in a theater filled with
any film is like that, but this one in particular, and at midnight, I would say, or near to it, with the sort of people that want to go out and put a temporary tattoo on their face. Like that's how you want to see this film. So anyway, so be on the lookout for that, and go to legionm.com/Mandy to put yourself on the list right now.
Well, and we'll have more details coming next week where we'll be sending that up.
Okay. Somebody wants to know, why are you guys so hot?
We're the air conditioning is on. I think it's just literally that.
Truth be told, go ahead.
What?
I was just gonna say, I don't think it's like we bring the hotness. I think that the Legion brings the hotness.
Yeah,
but
I was just gonna say, I think because it's the phone's over there, and
it was the incoming hotness.
It's getting the heat.
It was
from
the incoming
Legion.
hotness from all of you guys.
Yeah, we're probably actually cooling it a little bit.
Robert Whitehill wants to know: are we going to need an exorcism after seeing Legion after seeing Mandy?
Perhaps.
I don't know.
No,
it'll alter you.
It'll alter you. But that's a sign of a good movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like something that, really resonates and kind of impacts you. And I think different people will experience it different ways. I mean, like we've said that, watching the trailer is like the double black diamond sign on a ski slope. If you like that trailer, you're going to love this movie. If you don't like the trailer, you may not love the movie, so be warned. But I think the trailer does a good job of kind of representing the film, and
well, and for those of you guys that weren't here when we launched Mandy and talked a lot about that, right? We launched this under the Legion M Midnight brand, because it really is truly a midnight movie, and which means that it's avant-garde, it's pushing the boundaries, and it's wildly creative. You won't see anything else like it.
Panos is a visionary. I mean,
this is his
artistic horror. I mean, it is quite beautiful.
It's his second film. It's surprisingly moving, I think, is probably.
I mean, let's put it this way: it got a 4-minute standing ovation at Cannes, and was the best reviewed film at Sundance.
Yes.
And I think one of the things that Legion M wants to be known for is, look, we want to push the boundaries a little bit. And when we set up this Legion Midnight initiative, we wanted to find, this as our first film under the Legion Midnight slate. We literally, I can't imagine a better film. I mean, it's being called the most midnightiest of all midnight films, right? So, this is it. This is our, the crown jewel of our midnight slate, and it's gonna be fun.
Yes, absolutely. So,
not to mention the soundtrack. One more time, can I just plug it? Seriously, I know for one, that it's the music is just killer.
And
there's
cool.
some really cool plans that we have. Nothing that we probably want to talk about just yet, but related to the soundtrack. That, again, we're investors in the soundtrack as well as the film. But I think that the soundtrack really is a key. In a lot of films, the soundtrack is it adds atmosphere, does whatever. But in this case, it's a fundamental component of this film.
Yeah.
And And anyway, so it's just one of those things that I think also could almost take on a life of its own.
Well, and especially considering that it's one of Johan's last works, I think makes it particularly poignant.
Yeah.
And
well, and people have asked us, what about, is there consideration for an awards campaign or something like that? And without revealing any details, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that is it is not out of the question. Mm-hmm. And so that is something that
how incredible would that be?
I mean,
if to have
I could see it. I can see it.
I agree.
Honestly, I can. I mean, go listen to Forging the Beast.
Yeah.
I mean, really, listen to it. It is really intense, and it's, I would describe it as, it's heavy metal, but it's also symphonic and melodic, and, it's all those things that really, come together around this, heavy, saturated beat. I don't know. I can't get enough of it, honestly.
Yeah. I can attest to that. He just listens to it nonstop, over and over and over.
Turn it up. I turn it up to 11.
That's right.
All right.
So, all right. Well, hey.
All right. Sorry
I think
about
we're out of time.
The phone overheating.
Yeah, sorry for being so hot.
You know what? We just can't help it.
Yeah.
We just can't help it. We need to maybe we shouldn't dress up so much.
No, but seriously, thank you guys all. Thank you, everybody. And
let's keep plowing forward. I'm telling you, we've got so much momentum right now. Jeff and I, we're entrepreneurs, so we're always going to be optimistic and excited and bullish. But I mean, I can honestly say, every month I get more bullish. And when we started the company, I couldn't imagine being more bullish than when we started it. That's why we started it, because we believed in it so greatly. And and it's because of all of you guys. I mean, the fact that this community is coming together in such a great way, and and the industry is receiving it so well. It's it's really we've got the ingredients for something really special.
To do something special. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you guys, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging in there with us.
Next time, we promise it'll be, maybe about the same level of professionalism.
We'll keep the phone in an ice pack.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
See you guys. Bye.